Another weekly update, which means that, of course, we have to be talking about all the shenanigans and antics of one man and one man only. You know who I'm talking about. The great Aaron Rodgers, as he is going to be apparently doing a dark isolation retreat in the next couple weeks. We look ahead as the Super Bowl is this week, and we continue to look at Draft Talk. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Cheesehead Thread Podcast. This is a podcast for all Packers fans, and how are we all doing? It's currently February the 8th, and we have a lot to cover. Like I said, we're going to be talking about Aaron Rodgers and his antics, a little bit about the Super Bowl, and then just the draft, and we'll get out of here. So, Aaron Rodgers competed in a golf tournament this last week, and had a couple comments about his future. He was directly asked if he was going to San Francisco, or what was the future, and he said that he would not be going to San Francisco, which, as a Packers fan, heck yeah, let's love that. Davante Adams has gone first team All-Troll with with all his liking and Twitter posts, just saying that he's going to pay, kind of like buying into the Aaron Rodgers comment of, he better buy me a house with all the money he's got if I'm going to Las Vegas. And so someone asked him whether or not, where would Rodgers be living, and he said, in my neighborhood. And he's been liking tweets that, if Rodgers would come, then this guy would be live for 4 straight days or something. I don't know, something like that. They've been really working the internet to generate as much clicks and as much propaganda as they possibly can, because if there's more clicks and there's more propaganda, that benefits Aaron Rodgers way more than it does the Packers. I'm saying this kind of monotonely because it's just goes back to my comments last week. I get it. Davante and Rodgers can do whatever they want, but as a fan, it's just tiring. It's tiring, Ugh. I just don't know when this is gonna end, and I'm ready for Jordan Love to be quarterback. If it's not Jordan Love, then I don't know what we're doing. We're not going to draft a quarterback. We're just not going to draft a quarterback this year, because if we do, then it makes us look like complete fools for trading up to draft a quarterback in 2020 and not letting him have one season as a starter. When we could have had T. Higgins, who is about to command a top draft pick in a trade potentially, if the Bengals can't, if the Bengals can't trade him for a piece, if they can't sign him. So I think that Rodgers is going to do what he's going to do. The retreat thing is crazy to me. That is wild. That is wild and out there, to say the least. Nothing is going to prepare you. I mean, Pat McAfee was shocked. I mean, Pat and AJ asked Rodgers 25 questions because they were just dumbfounded by the fact that Aaron Rodgers would be sitting in a room. This is what is going to happen with Aaron Rodgers during that retreat. He is going to be sitting in a room, in a dark room, for 4 straight days, and for at least 4 nights, and there's a 2-way slot for food and a bathroom, and he says that there will be a high possibility of him to have hallucinations. We haven't already heard the stories of the Perk Rodgers. I mean, what? Oh. what are we? I mean, what? What is going on? I mean, being an Aaron Rodgers fan and being in him as your quarterback, you're gonna encounter a lot of stuff, but. No one is expecting Rodgers to spend 4 nights in an isolation room, man. Just in a dark room. I don't know. I'd much rather him go to the Raiders just because of the higher draft pick, but at this point, I don't know. If he would go to Las Vegas, the trade package that I would want would be a first this year, a second this year, and Darren Waller. That would be the trade that I would love. I mean, that would have been the trade that we would have gotten for Devontae. I don't know about the second round pick, but Darren Waller was going to be in the trade originally, but because of the franchise tag rules, he's not allowed to be in the trade because it was not a franchise taggable player. So last year, I think Dalton Schultz got the franchise tag, if I'm not mistaken. We could have traded Devontae Adams for Dalton Schultz and picks, right? Because he was franchise tagged. But that's the only players that can be added in a trade, which I think is stupid, but I guess makes sense to the NFL. So, I guess we'll find out, man. Whenever this happens, apparently he'll get the decision, he'll have his clarity, and he'll release it to us. But at this point, who knows, man? Who knows? It's a crazy world we live in, and Rodgers is that guy. So yeah, I mean, let's talk a little bit about the Super Bowl. Yeah, I mean, Eagles versus Chiefs. I mean, nothing too crazy. Number 1 seeds getting in. I think this is the first time in a while that both number 1 seeds are actually making the Super Bowl, which I think is kind of cool. Obviously, it sucks for us because we've been the number 1 seed like the last 2 seasons, and we couldn't get it done either time. But I don't know. I think it'll be a good game. I think it'll be close. Something that will be something that I'll keep in mind during this weekend. I'll probably watch it. I will give you my prediction. I will be predicting that the Eagles will win the Super Bowl. I would much rather the Eagles win than the Chiefs, and I think the score will be in that 37-34 range. I think it'll be a really close game. If Patrick Mahomes' ankle is healthy and is healthy enough, I do think he can score. It's the number 1 offense versus the number 1 defense, I believe. So it'll be a good game for Packers fans. I know that MVS left the team, but kind of let's root for our boy. He may not be on the team anymore, but he'll always be a Packer, and he'll always have the history of being drafted to the Packers. And so MVS, hope you have a good game. And if there's another former Packer on either side, I hope you have a good game. But 37-34 Eagles, I'm hoping for a good game because can't ever repeat a 2018 Super Bowl, and that was disgusting. So, all right, let's dig into these. Let's dig into the draft talk, and then we'll get out of here. So looking at the draft and what's been happening with mock drafts recently, nothing too crazy. It's pretty much the same people: Mayer, Addison, Njigba, Johnson, Mayer, Branch, Van Ness, and I believe, let me see here, Myles Murphy was interesting. I think that's way too low for him. Zay Flowers was mocked to us. Let's see. BJ Ujuar. I'm going to butcher this guy's name because I don't really know how to say it, but BJ, the edge rusher from LSU. Devin Witherspoon, twice, which I think is interesting. Luke Musgrave, a tight end from Oregon State, and Dalton Kincaid, a tight end from Utah, has been mocked to us consistently. 33rd team on 2 days ago mocked a trade that would send Aaron Rodgers to the Jets for the 13th overall pick. Interesting. I would think you would get more. Walter Football said Tyler Steen, an offensive tackle from Alabama. And Isaiah Foskey. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much the same people. Nothing too crazy. Peter Bukowski on his show on Monday had us trading the Packers to the Raiders for the first a pick in Darren Waller, and in that one he drafted Tyree Wilson, an edge rusher from Texas Tech, at the 7th overall pick, and had Quentin Johnson at 15, which I think makes sense. But I do want to talk about today the tight end position because I think it's all over the place. I've seen this now with two different players. Darnell Washington and Michael Mayer have been consistently in that first to second round caliber, but Dalton Kincaid and Luke Musgrave over the last couple weeks have creeped up into the first round, just like Lucas Van Ness did like last week and the week before. I don't know why there's so much variability with these tight ends. I mean, I had never seen Luke Musgrave at all, period, mocked in the first round of the Packers or anywhere up until this past week. I understand that there's been the Senior Bowl and all these bowl games, but out of nowhere, Luke Musgrave is a player that the Packers would consider taking in the first round at 15. I don't see it. Dalton Kincaid, who's been consistently mocked in the third round, the Packers would take at 15, and CBS, who has him at the 62nd prospect, the Packers would reach for him at 15. Are you crazy? I don't understand it. Obviously, there's no testing done, there's no combine, there's no anything. But why is there so much variability? Make it make sense. Is Luke Musgrave a first-round talent or a third-round talent? Is Darnell Washington a first-round talent, second-round talent, third-round talent? Decide. Mayer is a first-round talent. Clear as day, first-round talent, and if not, he's a second-round talent at the latest. Like Cole Kmet was kind of in that fringe range. I think he went second round, but he could have been first. But Michael Mayer has been the most consistent tight end, but Dalton Kincaid and Luke Musgrave are first-round talents after being consistently mocked to the third round. I don't see it. Obviously, I don't really know that much about Musgrave because, hey, he just started popping up. I'll have to look into it more in-depthly, and I'll try to do that next episode. But I don't really get the hype for Luke Musgrave. And really Kincaid. I would love a Kincaid in the third round. I would love a Musgrave in the third round. I would love a Musgrave in the second round or a Kincaid in the second round. First round, no. I think you have to address wide receiver, safety. Michael Mayer at tight end I would be okay with. But it's wide receiver, safety, and edge, and tackle, and I guess cornerback. But those are the real positions other than Michael Mayer at 15. And if for some reason we get the 7th overall pick or the 13th overall pick and Brian Brzee still available, obviously you pick him because that's a huge piece to your defensive line. But right now, as it currently stands, we have the 15th overall pick, and I don't get the hype for those two. But I think that's going to be it, guys. Keep it short and sweet. There's nothing too crazy to talk about. It's Super Bowl week. Everyone's going to be focusing on that, really. Unless you hear some bombshell trade. I do want everyone to be cautioned about the Derek Carr situation. His contract is completely guaranteed, like 2 days after the Super Bowl. And it's $40 million. I don't think the Raiders are going to do that. They're either going to take the dead cap hit that will come from being a release, or they will trade him and just get whatever they can. They do want a third-round pick, which I think is worth Derek Carr. It's just going to be if a team is willing to pay $40 million for Derek Carr production, Is he worth $40 million? I don't know. But that's the market for quarterbacks. I mean, they get paid the big bucks. And so just wanted to be cautious about it. I think that's going to be it, guys. Pretty much a meh week. There's nothing too crazy. The pass game coordinator has yet to be fulfilled. I'll talk about that if that's been fulfilled by next week. But that's going to be it, guys. Thanks so much for listening. Hope you guys have a good day and the rest of the week. Go Pack, go! Let's go Eagles in the Super Bowl. And yeah, this is Cyrus Liga signing off. See ya.